coming to the top of your mat, sitting up nice and tall. Begin to notice how you feel. You can have your feet in an easy cross-leg position, Sukhasana. You could bring your left or right heel to above your thigh for half lotus. You could bring the left or right heel into the perineum as far as you could get it, and then you could place the other heel in front. Doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. If you can see mine, it's not the greatest, but there's several options available to explore for a seated meditation style pose. So find your favorite variation and settle in. Relax. Notice how you feel. Working with some pranayama breathing exercises today, and also exploring some mindful movements to go along with those breathing practices. This is also a bit of a glimpse into my personal practice, things that I like to do every day to maintain happiness and health with mind, body, spirit, and soul. Very gentle stuff, not a lot of effort involved or that need to gain or to grow, just very like happy where I am type space. That's how I try to, that's how I develop my daily practice. That's a very powerful way to practice in this space of content and ease. So beginning the practice with Samavayu, very gentle, somatic type breathing exercise. Go ahead and soften the stomach as much as possible. Try to relax all tension in the stomach. You might hear me use the word bandha during this practice. A lot of times when people hear bandha, they think of clenching and squeezing real hard. None of that is going to be happening. I would like you just to stay relaxed and let this be very natural. Let the body do its thing and just observe and notice. Take notice of your breath and how you feel, sensations, thoughts, anything arising. Just witnessing yourself, the mechanics of the body and the breath. So bring one hand to the heart center, one hand to the navel. Sitting up nice and tall, relaxing through the stomach, grounding down in the sits bone. Soft, gentle, easy breathing. Naturally breathing, soft, shallow, deep, strong, subtle, whatever type of breath you have, witness it and notice. With each inhale, you'll notice the diaphragm, or imagine the diaphragm expanding like a balloon, this 3D balloon filling up with life's energy, your life force expanding. And then exhaling the balloon, the diaphragm deflating, releasing, letting something go. Continuing, just notice the breath, thoughts, feelings, sensations, whatever is arising in the body. hopes, fears, tension, anything arising, just witnessing it, not clinging to, not pushing against, just watching. Breathing together, we'll inhale, abdomen releases, chest expands, abdomen flattens, contracts, gentle lift at the top of the breath, subtle, hardly noticeable bandha. Vichaka, exhale, abdomen releases, inflates, chest deflates, slight lift at the bottom, subtle bandha. Paraka, inhale, abdomen lifts, chest expands, abdomen flattens, contracts, slight lift. Vichaka, exhale, abdomen expands, chest deflates, abdomen releases, contracts, slight lift. Paraka, inhale, abdomen lifts, flattens, chest expands. Vichaka, exhale, abdomen releases, chest deflates, slight lift, hardly noticeable bandha. Paraka, inhale, abdomen, ribs, chest expand. Vichaka, exhale, abdomen, ribs, chest. Paraka, inhale, abdomen, ribs, chest to the top, slight lift, gentle bandha. Vichaka, exhale, abdomen, ribs, chest, letting something go. Inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3. Exhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3. Paraka, inhale, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3. Vichaka, exhale, Om, Om, Om. Continuing to breathe, watching the rise and fall, ebb and flow. Merging with the breath. Using the breath to guide you into embodiment, into the senses, into the heart. Bringing the hands to the heart center, the Anahata chakra. Noticing how you feel. A felt sense of a smile spreading onto the face of the heart. The brows of the eyes, the creases of the lips. Continuing to breathe, noticing the space in between each breath. The thought, the space between each thought. Continuing to witness yourself, breathing, moving, release all tension from the body, relax. In that easy cross-legged position, you can open the eyes if your eyes were closed. Moving on, bring the hands to the knees. Working with a little bit of an upper body roll, some upper body, upper torso rotation. This is more of a Tibetan style movement. It is extremely slow motion. So just follow along and breathe, witnessing yourself moving and breathing. Hands to the knees, inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then we'll exhale, we'll begin to fold forward, like incredibly slow. Long spine. Try to have a straight back. And we're gonna go all the way down. And then we'll start going up and around. Upper torso circles. So naturally, you're not gonna wanna go this slow. You're gonna be like, what the F here? What's going on? I wanna speed this up, but I'm going to challenge you not to. I want you to continue this theme of witnessing the body and just searching for sensation. What do you feel? What do you notice? After some time, pause at the top and then head back down on the exhale, opposite direction. Make this incredibly meditative. Deeply engaging in the energy within the lower back, the stomach, guts. It's a very simple practice, but it can be incredibly powerful. You may notice things arising in the body. Laughter, kind of like a funny feeling. It also can bring about strong emotions. You may feel like crying, or you may feel incredible bliss. Whatever arises, know that it belongs and it is a teaching. So just witness, keep witnessing. You can begin to speed it up, you can round through the back at this point. Whatever you'd like to do. Warming up the body, these gentle, dynamic movements. You could also begin to lead with the arms to elongate through the torso. So I could reach my left arm up and lead with the left arm followed by the right, getting nice and extra, nice and flowy. Get that flow on, make it like a dance. Really no wrong way here, just explore the movement. You could bring your forearm down to the mat as you find this rotation through the spine and torso. Oh, so good. Love it. A few more moments. If you're playing around with the arms, you definitely need to pause at some point. Go back down opposite direction with those arms flying around. Very nice. Relax. Still sitting in that cross-leg easy position. We'll go ahead and inhale. Bring the arms up and then back behind you, interlacing the fingers. Sit up nice and tall. Try to roll the shoulders back, long through the spine. Hands, both your interlaced hands to the left side of your body. Nice and tall, big inhale. And then exhale, left ear towards that left shoulder. Stretch through the right side of the neck. Breathing. You could tilt the chin up. Little rotation, some micro movements. Totally fine. Feeling the movements. These are some sacred movements. All these movements. What a blessing to be moving, to be breathing, to be alive, right? Yeah. Inhale your head up to the center. Bring your hands to the right side of your body. Paraka. Inhale long through the spine. Rijaka. Exhale right ear towards the right shoulder. Stretch through the left side of the neck. So nice. Noticing how you feel. Searching for sensation. Breathing that life energy into your bloodstream, into your body. Opening. Awakening to what is. Becoming present here and now. Inhale to center. Release your hands. Shake it out a little bit. Great job. Inhale, bring the hands up above the head, find length. And then we'll exhale, interlacing our hands behind our head. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, draw the elbows behind you and open the chest. And then exhale, we round, chin to chest, elbows together. You can slightly draw the navel in towards the spine. Inhale, open. Draw the elbows back. Brow through the chest. Exhale, close, round. Keep moving like this. Inhaling, opening. Exhale, rounding. At your own pace. Really coming into contact with your breath and that expansion in the chest, the drawing in of the navel. Together, we'll inhale, open the chest, draw the elbows back, and then we'll exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, release. Great job. From here, we'll meet at the top of our mats in a standing position. You can bring your feet about shoulders width apart. So just working with some mindful movements, some dynamic stretching here. This is all part of my daily practice, things I like to do to help my body. Gentle movements here. It's all very easygoing stuff. So we're going to do some shoulder barrel rolls. We'll start with the right side. So feet are about shoulders width apart. And we'll inhale, reach this right arm up. Palm facing in, protraction through the shoulders. Really, really long here. Then we're going to twist and externally rotate the wrist out to the outside. And we're going to lead with the pinky. So the pinky, I'll stand this way. So the pinky leads down behind you. Yeah. And then we'll inhale, leading with the thumb. Back up and around. Internally rotate the hand, wrist facing in and back down. Inhale, arm up. Rotate the palm out and then lead with the pinky behind, down and around. And then from the bottom, we'll inhale, lead with the thumb back, around and up. Internally rotate the wrist, back down. So moving like this, inhale. I like to bring my left hand to my navel. Inhale, bring the arm up, find that length, rotate, palm out, and then draw the pinky down. We'll rest at the bottom, and then lead with the thumb back up. Palm facing in. So keep moving like this at your own pace. And just see what you can notice. If you have shoulder pain, tightness in the shoulders, this is an absolutely great exercise to just loosen up those shoulders real fast. This is something you could do at work, something you could do with very little space, not needing a mat. It's really help with shoulder health. You may find that if you have any clicking or sticking in the shoulders, this will help to get rid of it. All right, release. Notice how you feel one side from the other. And we'll start with the left arm. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Find length, protraction through the shoulders. Externally rotate, palm facing out. Lead down with the pinky. Down, behind. And then we'll inhale, lead with the thumb. Back up and around. Rotate the palm in and back down. Inhale, palm up. Hand up. Externally rotate the palm. Lead with the pinky down. Behind, and then inhale back up, lead with the thumb up, nice and tall. Draw the navel in slightly. Inhale, arm up, palm out, pinky finger leads, down, behind, around to the bottom. Inhale, thumb up, leading to the top, palm in, down. Shoulder barrel rolls at your own pace, your own movement. Breathing. Deepest breath yet. How about that? See what you got. Focusing on the breath and the movement. Long, steady, beautiful, luxurious breaths. So nice. All right. Shake it out. Release. Roll through the shoulders a little bit. All right, so some gentle twisting, rooting down in the feet. Feet are still shoulder width apart. We'll reach the arms up, long through the arms. So you can begin to twist here. Some gentle twisting. Perhaps hitting your neighbor, tickling their fingers. So you can follow the hands and the twist with your head, but often that makes me feel a little dizzy, so I like to just keep my gaze forward. But you can try either way. I like to intensify this. So for me personally, to intensify the stretch would be to bend the elbows. I bend the elbows, and that allows me to gain some momentum with the twist. Find the breath. These twists are something that you don't often find, this dynamic movement, in your average yoga class, and I think it's something that can really benefit the average yogi. Keep moving, keep breathing, keep twisting. You can intensify it a little bit if you'd like by adding just a little bit more vigor to the twist, a little bit more momentum. You can also hinge one foot at a time as you twist. So I twist to the left, right foot hinges, you lift the heel. And we begin to slow down, still twisting, but the arms become lifeless, hanging heavy, twisting, beginning to slow down and preparing to find stillness, but ever so slowly, coming closer and closer to stillness, eventually approaching our destination. Very still, noticing how you feel. The tingling in the arms and fingers, such energy, such divinity, infinite cosmos within. Feel the aliveness, coursing, pulsating, oscillating through the system. Remembering who you truly are. All right, y'all. Spinal waves. Upward leading, sagittal, spinal waves. So there's some spinal intelligence here. We're going to wake up the spine. Ground down in the feet. Feet are still about shoulders width apart. I'm going to lead with the chin. I'm going to try to keep everything in this center line of access here, not going too far forward, too far back. Center line of access here. So lead with the chin, forward, up, followed by that chest, abdomen, pelvis. We're just trying to create these waves through the upper and lower torso, through the spine. Spinal awareness. It's weird at first. It's incredibly weird at first, I feel like. You can use a mirror. You could record yourself doing this. See how funny we all look, right? But over time of practicing this, adding something like this to your daily practice, you'll begin to really start to feel like some fluidity. I think that's the right word I'm looking for. It's very fluid, it's like you're oiling the body and everything's just well lubricated and flowing, and it feels great. It really has benefited, I feel like, personally, my flexibility in the spine. I'm trying to stay rooting down into my feet, evenly spreading the weight. With practice and experience, you can find some bandha in the feet here. Continue to notice how you feel. Waking up that spine. And go ahead, release, relax. Check in, notice how you feel. Some more sagittal waves here. Downward leading, we're gonna lead with the hips, with the pelvis. So we'll draw the pelvis forward, hips come forward, and we begin to wave, follow with the abdomen, chest, chin, and then repeat the motion. So the pelvis comes forward and the rest of the upper torso follows in this wave-like pattern. The shoulders come forward at the top. And the knees bend slightly. But really, you want to try not to bend the knees too much. It's really trying to come from the hips, the pelvis, and the spine. Spinal waves, manipulating the spine into some of its different planes of motion, its ranges of motion. The spine is quite amazing. It's a very mysterious part of the body. It's the highway to the body's system. Healthy spine, healthy life. These movements are also known as the vomiting cat. If you have a cat, you might imagine that movement through the upper back. Deep breathing. Very good. Find stillness. Relax. Notice how you feel. Last part of this dynamic warm-up session is going to be shaking. We're one of the only mammals that doesn't shake. If you have a dog, you'll notice that there's all these animals that shake. Every time I pet my dog will shake. My dog loves to shake. There's a reason why he loves to shake. It's very good for him. It's like a full body stretch. It's quite amazing for the system. So we're going to try some shaking today. There is a Japanese yoga, I believe it's Shinto yoga, they use shaking quite often in that style of yoga. You'll begin, I believe you'll see this shaking style appear in different traditions throughout yoga. But basically we're going to root down in the feet, and we're going to begin to pulse through the knees. Just pulsing through the knees, and we're going to begin to shake the entire body. It's kind of nice to you could always have a song playing, like an upbeat song playing to match the pulsing with the rhythm of the music. That's always nice to do too. But we're just shaking, trying to shake parts of the body that you've never shaked before. I like to do this lightly with that light pulse through the knees. So it starts in the knees, and then you just add on with the pulse. You can hear my voice shaking, and it's quite noticeable. Trying to shake through the shoulders, shake the entire body. Close the eyes, make this a little bit meditative. No peeking. Don't want you to see how goofy I'm looking right now. No, it's okay, you can peek. I'm used to it. Keep breathing, keep shaking. Maybe find a little bit of movement here. See how it feels to, you could tuck the tailbone. Pelvis comes forward. You can untuck the tailbone, continuing to shake. Maybe you draw the left ear down towards the left shoulder. You could draw the right ear down to the right shoulder. How about our deepest breath yet? Find your breath. Conscious breathing. You can also, if it feels okay for you, you could fold forward a little bit even. Sit up nice and tall. A few more moments for the practice. So this is when you're going to want to stop. You're like, hey, okay, I'm done with this now. This is getting old. But we're going to keep going. Just past our comfort zone. And if you want to go off pattern here, you can draw the knees in and clank through the knees. You can do a little jig, a little dance. Open the heart. All right. Slow it down. Slowing this pulsing, slowing the shaking, eventually finding stillness. Feel that energy coursing through the body, invigorating the blood, opening the heart, felt sense of a smile, expanding throughout the body. Self-awareness, self-intent, self-integrity, self-respect, self-healing, self-love. Breathe it in. To the top of the mat, some gentle sun salutations. Sun salutations, pranayama, headstand, my secret weapons. Hands, feet together, hands apart, palms facing out, open the chest. I'm gonna go ahead and move through just some hatha style sun salutations, gentle, meditative style sun salutations. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up, find length, squeeze the glutes, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward from the hip creases, plant the hands flat on the mat, palms flat. Try to line up the fingertips with the toes, bend the knees as much as possible, as much as you need to create this flat palm. Flat palms. Yep, nice job. So humble the head, draw the head down towards the knees, bowing down to the earth. You can make this an offering. Inhale, step the right foot back, drop the right knee, lift the gaze, low lunge. Retain the breath, step the left foot back, plank pose. Checking in with plank pose, back of the heart lifted up towards the ceiling, squeezing the glutes, pushing the ground away from us, navel towards the spine. I find that sometimes with sun salutations, it can be easy to get a little lethargic in your sun salutations, kind of like, boring, gonna be lazy. I invite you to really try to see past that illusion of mundaneness and see the miracle in these sacred movements. It is just wonderful. Like, just notice the little things. Yeah? Nice and strong in your plank pose. We're gonna lower down in a special way. We're gonna lower down knees, chest, forehead. If you can't do chest and forehead, do chest and chin. Arch the lower back. That bottom is sticking way up. My toes are tucked. So nice. Inhale, slide the chest forward, peel it up. Your back bend, preferably Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. And then we'll exhale, roll over the toes, lift the sit bone. Down dog, heels reach towards the mat. Inhale, step the right foot forward, drop the left knee, find that low lunge. Exhale, left foot comes forward and we fold. Bow down, be humble. Inhale, arms come forward, up, slightly back. Keep the upper arms next to the ears. As you come back, the arms are right next to the ears at all times on this drop back. And we'll exhale, release the arms down to the side. Beautiful job. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, heart center. Inhale, arms reach, we rise, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, palms flat, humble the head. Inhale, step the left foot back, drop the knee, low lunge, retain the breath. Plank pose. Exhale, we lower down, knees, chest, chin or forehead. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Drop the right knee. Exhale, right foot comes forward and we fold. Inhale, arms forward, up. We rise, slightly back. Exhale, release. Braka, inhale. Richaka, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Braka, inhale, we rise. Richaka, fold. Braka, step the right foot back, drop the right knee, lift the gaze. Retain the breath, left foot back. Plank pose, exhale, lower down knees, chest, chin or forehead. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, fold. Down dog. Inhale, right foot comes forward. Drop the left knee, lift the gaze. Exhale, left foot next to right. We fold. Inhale, reach forward, up, engage, lengthen, rise, drop back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, reach up. Squeeze the glutes, open the chest, exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back, drop the knee, lift the gaze. Retain the breath, right foot back, plank pose. Exhale, lower down knees, chest, forehead. Inhale, slide forward. Cobra pose, lift the chest, your back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot comes forward, drop the right knee. Low lunge. Right foot comes forward, fold. Inhale, reach forward, up, slightly back. Exhale, release your arms down to your side. Step the feet apart. Notice how you feel. Check in with your breath. Check in with your body. Keep breathing. Go ahead. We'll inhale, bend the knees, sweep the fingertips down, graze the mat as you inhale the arms up. Keep dropping through the hips, bending the knees, chair pose. Big inhale. And then we'll exhale, lift the heels, draw the arms back behind you, sink down in the hips a little bit more, long through the neck. Straight spine, drinking bird, hold. Lift those heels, tippy toes. We'll inhale, straighten the legs, halfway lift. Reach the arms out like you're about to swan dive, because you are. Keep holding, keep breathing, all slow motion. And we'll begin to swan dive. Exhaling forward, super slow motion here. Challenge yourself by leaning farther forward than you want to, over the toes, so you almost fall on your face. Once you get down into the fold, drop the heels, and either fold or go all the way down into a closed-legged squat. You could be on the balls of your feet. Your feet could be flat. Giving yourself a little bit of a hug. Try to straighten the spine. Awesome job, yogis. So from here, we're going to go ahead and just lean forward and plant the hands if you're squatting and find that forward fold now. Forward fold. You could heel toe the feet apart to have like a semi-wide leg forward fold if you've been folding with closed legs. You can pump the heels, sway through the hips. Yogi's choice here, taking responsibility for our own practice. Like, what do you want to get out of a forward fold today? Is there anything specific you would like to do? Go ahead and do it. For me, personally, it's chest expansion. So I'm going to reach my arms behind me, interlace the fingers, open the chest, halfway lift, gaze forward, and then exhale, fold. And then you can feel that expansion as you fold into the hip creases. Notice the legs. Where is your awareness? And then maybe you bend to the left knee. You can stand a little bit more on that right leg and twist to the right. Take your gaze up to the ceiling if you like. Inhale to center, halfway lift. And then exhale, you can bend the right knee, stand a little bit more on that left leg if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, release the bind and fold one more time. Some sort of ragdoll fold. Bend the knees quite a bit. Find that chest-thigh connection. And then back into the fold by lifting the hips, trying to maintain that abdomen, chest, thigh connection. And then we roll up one vertebrae at a time. Super slow motion. Feel every bit of movement all the way to the top. Inhaling, roll the shoulders up and down the back. Open that chest. So proud, so strong. Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet together. Paraka, arms up above the head, find length. Richaka, fold forward into your Uttanasana. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Either palm press, step, jump, back handstand for a moment, and find plank. Vinyasa, meeting in down dog. Inhale, extend the left foot up above, behind you. Extend through that leg. 3-leg down dog. Just gentle movement here. You can do whatever you like. Straight leg, pulsing through the leg. Bend the knee. Just explore that range of motion through the hip socket. And then we'll exhale left foot in between the hands. Drop the right knee. Low lunge. Walk the right foot back if you want. And don't feel like you have to come up right away. Like, hang out with the fingertips on the ground for a moment. And then, when you're ready, no rush, lift the upper torso. Bring your hands to your hips. Just those hips are incredibly heavy. Reaching them forward. So nice. So I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to grab the outside of my left ankle. Yep, right hand comes to sit. Right forearm comes to sit on the left thigh. And then I'm just going to explore some movement through that left knee, drawing it forward over the ankle. Uh-oh. You best not be bringing that knee over the ankle. It's kind of like a thing in yoga, but I say if we're conscious about it, if we're mindful about it, if we know we're doing it, then maybe perhaps we begin to bulletproof the body. We begin to strengthen the body. Because you see, the body does well under stress. It strengthens, it improves, it grows, it evolves, it learns. So don't be afraid to get into it a little bit. That knee is coming forward. Pulsing back and forth. Great job, yogis. So from low lunge, I want to plant the right hand and I want to lift the right knee up off the mat, extend the left arm up. And then to a supported side stretch. So I'd like to explore from this position a nice transition. So from right here, see about exhaling and then walking the hands down to the mat, pivoting to the right, and using your hands to slide into that right knee at the back of the mat. Extend the left leg, skandasana, back of the mat. Sink down into those hips. Feels so nice. That inner left leg, that inner thigh. Ooh. So as just so much is getting stretched here. It's quite wonderful. Such bliss, right? So from here, I want to explore the transition because I love this transition. It is so fun. It's so like, it feels so good for me. It's like something I know I need. So from Skandasana, you can do this with your hands or no-handed. We're gonna find our way back to that supported side twist. Feel free to make any adjustments that you need and explore moving back and forth from those two positions. And if you would like to take this even farther, it's a little bit challenging. You would, from Skandasana, you would come back into that side twist, and this time you would rotate all 10 toes to the left. Drop the hips, flex both feet to protect the knees, left hand grazes that right thigh, come into a lounging lizard. Remember lounging lizard, everybody? And then from lounging lizard, we come up, pivot the feet towards the back of our mat, using our hands to walk into Skandasana. So that's the other part of the transition, another layer. So you can try to go from Skandasana all the way to the opposite side of the mat, lounging lizard. And then back to Skandasana. So play around with those transitioning options. And then when you've had enough, we'll meet in Skandasana once again. And then from Skandasana, I'd like to see if you can just drop the sit bones down to the mat. Use your hands to sit down. Keep the right foot and leg just how it is. And then we're going to internally rotate this right knee down to the mat. Nice and tall. Sit up through the spine, upper torso, and then exhale, fold. Whew. Breathe into the fold. Inhale back up. Find Skandasana. And then we'll work our way to the top of the mat, that supported twist. And then we'll frame that front foot, step it back. You can vinyasa if you like, or just go right to down dog. We'll inhale, extend the right leg behind you. Point the toes, you can pulse through that right leg. You can bend the knee and explore that rotation through that right hip socket. And then go ahead, exhale. Right foot in between the hands. Drop the left knee. Find your low lunge. However you'd like to find it. Always yogi's choice with me. When you're ready, maybe you lift the torso, hands to your hips. I didn't cue it on the first one, but if you want to, bring the hands way up above the head, find length, any kind of stretch you want to do, it's totally fine. Just try to draw those hips down and forward, like really heavy in those hips, right? And if you'd like, right hand to the outside of the right ankle. Bring the left forearm down to the right thigh, and we begin to pulse back and forth through the right knee. Maybe, just maybe, drawing that right knee far forward over the ankle. Just super gentle, obviously. All strength born of softness. Can you be strong enough to be soft in this hard, hard world? More often than not, it's the gentle work that we truly need that is most important. Awesome job. We'll plant the left hand, lift the left knee, tuck the left toes, reach the right arm up. Find that twist. And then we'll begin exploring the transition opposite side. From this twist, we'll go ahead, use your hands to pivot to the left and walk the hands to the back of the mat. Bend to the left knee, straighten the right leg, lift the right toes, sink into the hips. Breathe. What do you feel? What do you notice? Right inner thigh, into the psoas, into the hips. Let's play with that transition now. So use the hands to come back to the front of the mat, into that twist. Stay in the twist, or all 10 toes rotate to the right. Flex the feet to protect the knees, and then we sink the hips. Left hand can graze that right thigh. Right hand can graze the left inner thigh. There we go. Right hand grazing the left inner thigh. You can inhale, extend, and play around with back and forth into that lounging lizard. At some point, though, that transition is absolutely wonderful. From lounging lizard, we go all the way to the back of our mat. Skandasana. I like to do this with no hands. Quite fun. Wherever you're at, meet in Skandasana at the back of the mat, left knee bent, right leg extended. We'll drop down onto your bottom. Internally rotate this left knee all the way down to the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Big inhale. Exhale, fold. You can walk the hands forward, or I use my hands to support myself, because this is like super intense for me. It's like, I don't know, liberating, I guess. It's wonderful. Like, I'm falling in love as we speak in this moment, completely just lost in the asana, right? Oh, so nice. Inhale, come up. Find Skandasana. Use your hands. Revisiting one last time. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. Find that twist. And then we'll frame that front foot. Step it back. Vinyasa. Chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing. 5 breaths. Down dog. From down dog, we'll drop down to the knees and extend the arms. Drop the chest over the thighs. Child's pose. Balasana. Inhale, roll up to a kneeling position. Part of my daily practice, Sirsasana, the headstand. I find headstand, energetically speaking, headstand is one of the most beneficial poses you could add to your daily practice. So if headstand is not in your practice, do whatever you need to do to complement that if you don't want to do that. But I encourage you to try some of the fundamental access points to Sirsasana. I don't expect anyone to get into the pose, but I will go ahead and give you plenty of places to stay and hang out and work on building that muscle memory, those fundamentals, so that someday you'll be able to easily flow into your headstand. So From this kneeling position, it's kind of like these 8 steps, basically. Well, 9 steps. So we'll bring our hands to our elbows, long through the forearms. Drop the forearms down in front of the knees. So once you drop those forearms down, glue the elbows to the mat. Open the arms, interlace the fingers, form a cup. The back of my head is going to sit in the cup like this, and so the front of my head is going to be on the mat. So you have your cup, go ahead and put the back of your head into that cup, and then you'll notice the top of the head on the mat. This is our first access point. We're just hang out here and see how it feels to push into the forearms a little bit, and there's a slight lift in the head, a release of pressure on the head. And then as you relax the forearms, you feel the pressure in the head. If you want to go farther, next spot would be to tuck the toes and lift the knees. So this can be quite intense. If this is really intense for you, this is where we should stay. And just play around here with pulsing through the feet, onto the tippy toes, lifting the heels. If it feels pretty good and you do want to go even farther, you would begin to walk the feet forward. So this is where most of us are going to stay, right here. You'll know you're truly ready to begin the work of headstand when these feet get so light that the toes begin to dangle and hover. I'm so far forward that my shoulders are going, that my hips are going over my shoulders. My toes begin to dangle. See? My toes are dangling, floating in the air very easily, like, right? Not a problem. So from here, if you can do that, you can begin to bend the knees. Bending the knees, coming into half headstand. This is a great place to stay. And then we would extend the legs, coming to our full expression. Asana, headstand. Holding anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. Coming down slowly with control, we'll bend the knees, draw the heels in towards the glutes. Then draw the knees forward down towards the chest. And then draw the feet or legs down to the mat slowly, silently. And right away, find child's pose. Anytime you practice headstand, very important to come into a child's pose before and after. That is a little bit of a personal opinion there. You can take it or leave it. Awesome job, yogis. From Sirsasana, we're going to just go ahead, come up to a kneeling position. Bring the hands down into the lap, palms facing up, nice and tall through the spine, noticing how you feel. Notice the quality of the breath through the nostrils. Perhaps noticing the ease in the breath, how easily you're breathing right now. Such little effort. Nostrils so clear, breathing so freely in this moment. Making our way down onto our backs. However you would like to get there, lie down. noticing how you feel, preparing for the practice of shoulder stand. Salamba Sarvangasana. Plant the hands next to the hips. We'll inhale, lift the feet, lift the legs, lift hips, brace the lower back. Try not to move the head at all. Relax the legs, relax the feet. If you've taken my classes before, you probably know by now that I like to play around with straightening. So if you'd like to follow along, you can bend the knees to the forehead. That's one option. You can also extend the legs, coming right into plow pose. Basically, we're relieving pressure on the spine so we can walk with those elbows in, closer together behind the back. And then you can draw your hands farther up the back, finding that deeper positioning with the hands. Once you find it, come back to your shoulder stand, lifting the legs up above the head. You may find a much straighter expression of your shoulder stand. Or perhaps not, it doesn't work every time. But it's nice to explore. Notice the sensation of the breath in the area of the throat. And we'll exhale, flex both feet, lower down behind the head. Halasana, plow pose. Keep the hips lifted. If the toes are touching the mat, touching the ground, that's great. If not, it's actually a little bit more challenging to keep the feet, toes off the mat. Main thing here is hips are lifted. You can interlace the fingers, extend the arms down towards the mat. You can plant the hands, keep the head on the mat, and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Or if you'd like to find high bridge pose, a fun transition from our shoulder stand into bridge pose, then join me by placing the hands on the back and coming into the shoulder stand once again. From here, we'll begin to split the legs, and you'll reach one leg down towards the mat, bending through that left or right knee. You feel the pressure in the wrists and the hands. You come into this high bridge type pose. Keep lifting up. Do not put too much pressure on the wrists. You gotta stay lifted. If this feels awesome to you, you can go back into your shoulder stand and then try it on the opposite side. You can also come back to your shoulder stand and try this with both legs, going down with both legs at the same time. This is quite a bit more intense, so be careful. Enjoy the bridge pose, chest into the chin. Lift a little bit higher, inhaling, release the hands from behind the back. Exhale, lower down. Roll through the wrists a little bit. Some gentle rotation through the wrists. Feet are underneath the knees. Or not quite underneath the knees, but we're drawing the heels back towards the glutes. Working on our bridge pose, you can grab the outside edge of the mat. So we're planting the feet and the knees reach forward as you inhale. Lift the hips, lift the pelvis, abdomen, chest. That chest into the chin. You could interlace your fingers, walk the hands behind the back just a little bit more. You could extend one leg up. Big inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, release. Practicing one more version of a wheel or of a bridge pose, or perhaps you like to back bend. Back bending, I most definitely try to make a part of my daily practice, whether it's drop backs at a wall, drop backs just on the mat, or definitely wheel pose is a very good one too, or belly bound down back bends. Any sort of back bend, very beneficial. So working on wheel pose, plant the hands next to the ears, fingertips pointing down towards the feet. Or once again, try your bridge pose. From here, just like bridge, we push into the feet, knees reach forward, inhale, lift the hips, lift the abdomen, lift the chest, push into the hands, extend through the arms, external rotation, through the shoulders, feel that releasing through the spine as you arc through the spine. So empowering, such a powerful practice. You can see about pulsing through the knees, straightening a little bit through the legs. When you've had enough, exhale, lower down, nice and slow, onto your back, knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock from side to side. Notice how you feel. Whew, so nice. Drop the feet down to the mat. Cross the left leg over the right. Extend your arms, big inhale. And then we'll exhale, lower the legs down to the right side. Normally I like to go left here with the legs crossed like this, but we're gonna start on the right side. Gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale to the top. And then exhale, legs stay crossed, lowering both legs down to the left side now. Gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale to the top. Uncross the legs. Cross right, over left. Take an exhale and lower those legs back down to the left side. Gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, both legs go down to the right side. Gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale up to center. Uncross the legs. Straighten the legs, sit on the wrists, palms facing down. Reach those fingertips down towards the heels. Matsuyasana, the fish pose. Walk the elbows underneath the back as much as you can. And then we'll inhale, push into the forearms, lift the chest forward. Take your gaze forward to start with. And then on the exhale, you can release the crown of the head down towards the mat. Keep that engagement in the forearms. Draw the navel in slightly. Notice the sensation of the breath. Notice that space in the chest. An invisible hand pushing in between your shoulder blades, squeezing, opening the heart towards the ceiling. Very, very little weight, if any, is in the crown of the head. But try to relax and release a little bit more through that neck, through the head. And then we'll inhale, push into the forearms, lift. Exhale, lower down, release. Notice the sensation in the arms. Breathing. Checking in with the body. Inhale, full body stretch. Find length. Exhale, knees to the chest. Give yourself a hug. Roll up. Extend the legs. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. We can inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Peace fingers could grab big toes. Yogi's choice. Gaze forward, straighten the spine. Richaka, fold, forward. Exhaling. So we're leading like with the navel here. Navel reaches forward. Sternum reaches forward. Rather than reaching down, let's reach forward with the navel and the sternum. Crown of the head reaching forward. Try to soften through the stomach. Make this nice and passive. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward, sink into those hips, exhaling, and then come all the way up on your next inhale. Whew. Very nice. A little bit of internal, external rotation through the legs, through the hips. Feet are planted down into the mat in front of the knees. Bring the hands behind you. Fingertips can be pointing out. And we're just going to begin to windshield wiper those legs back and forth. I guess I should say to widen the feet. Create some space so at the edges of your mat. Yeah. Back and forth, windshield wipering. And then if you'd like to find that malasana pose, the squat in between, on the way back up, lift up, and come into a squat pose. You can use your hands for this, and then you use your hands to gently rotate the knees down to the left. Use the hands back to malasana, frog squat. Use the hands, rotate the knees down to the right. Back and forth. You can also begin to work on doing this with one hand. If you're doing it with two, then no hands. If you're doing it with one hand. No hand is quite difficult for me still, but I know that it's something that is not far out of reach if I simply believe. Make the choice to believe. Yeah? Use your imagination. The possibilities are quite limitless once you break that barrier in the mind, that voice in the head that's always coming to conclusions about oneself, right? So the mind will say, I am not flexible enough to do that. I am this, I am that. And that can really limit ourselves, right? That really is a limiting sort of belief. So try to stay away from conclusions, yeah? So in this rotation, go ahead and find your way down to the right side and then lift up onto the knees. Find a little bit of balance. Lifting onto the knees, balancing, and then coming back down. You can continue to do that malasana, or you can just windshield wiper the legs now. Lifting up. Maybe doing this no-handed. Very nice, yogis. to the back of my mat a little bit. I'm afraid you can't see me anymore. A few more moments for the practice. And then when you have had enough, relax, straighten the legs. We'll go ahead and lie down. Going to mix our Shavasana today. Going to add, generally this is done in a seating position. Kivala Kumbhaka, it is another somatic breathing exercise. You know, you would generally do this seated upright, tall spine. And this might be best to continue to do it sitting up, but I want to try it laying down today. We'll just add it to our Shavasana. Now that might just mean that I hypnotize you and you fall asleep. And that's fine. Whatever happens, happens. Let's just get incredibly relaxed here and just notice how you feel. You could bring the hand to the heart and navel again, if you'd like. You could just rest your hands at your side. We're just noticing the breath. Noticing the space in between each breath. Noticing that long, gentle, expansive inhale. Noticing that subtle, relaxing exhale. Noticing space or a pause in between each breath. This pause is very effortlessly happening, to the point where you might not even notice it. Noticing the quality of the breath. Just observing, witnessing the inhale, the exhale, the pause. We'll notice thoughts, sensations, reflections, experiences, emotions, tensions, hopes, dreams, so much arising in the body. The diaphragm is expanding, filling up like a 3D balloon with air. Exhale, deflating, releasing, relaxing. Inhaling, abdomen, ribs, chest, filling the lungs. Exhale, releasing. Your breath could be light and subtle. Your breath, pull it out. Could be strong and deep. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. Every time your mind wanders, that's just one more opportunity to come come back home to the breath, to presence, to the here and now. Merging with the breath. So the lines that separate us from the breath, from each other, begin to blur. And as this line of separation fades, your heightened sense of awareness no longer is your awareness or my awareness. It becomes our awareness. Shared awareness of a shared experience. Breathing. And as our awareness becomes one, so does the breath. The inhale, the exhale, pause, all one. Breath is always going, always moving, always changing, always in motion. But with continued focus, you may notice how effortlessly you're breathing, how light breathing. You may notice how little you need to breathe. The stamba, the pause, is becoming longer and longer. The definitions of the breath, the labels, all fade into nothingness, pure awareness, not defined by time or space, one with the breath. Yourself to sink deeper to the breath, to the silence. Most important part of the practice, the relaxation. Follow the breath just a bit farther into the body, seeing how far you can go. Following the breath to the lungs, to the stomach, to the bloodstream, filling the body. I invite you to be with your breath. The entire time is being processed through the body. System is soft, settled, at ease, relaxed, peaceful, and content. Reawakening from that deep sleep, that wakeful death. Wiggling the toes, ankles, wrists. Full body stretch. Inhaling. Exhale, rolling onto one side or the other. Fetal positioning. Using the arm as a pillow. Using the hand to guide yourself up. Back to where we started. Sukhasana. Easy cross leg. Some sort of meditative pose. Hands in your lap. A few more moments of conscious breathing. You can contract the back of the throat. So the inhalation is coming more from the back of the throat rather than the nostrils. This will add texture to your breath, and it will sound something like a whisper, waves of an ocean crashing onto your consciousness. So notice that contracting and the inhalation coming from the back of the throat. Gentle, soft, ujjayi breath. Thank you so much for taking the time to try out this mindful movement, dynamic movement class, this pranayama class. So this class is designed to just give a fun experience with the practice of pranayama, breathing, and just some mindful movements. I like to try to open the mind of my yogi students, try different things. Yeah, thank you so much. Hope you had a beautiful experience with this. I wish you many blessings. I hope to practice with you in the future someday. Namaste. Om Namah Shivaya. Haribolo. Bom, bom, bom. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva.